Hello. So today you're going to be watching me film one of me typical equine shoots. We're photographing a lovely black gelding today, 15-year-old gelding called Lloyd. So let's go in and let's have a look and meet him. Hi Paul.
Hi dear.
Nice to see you again, mate. You alright?
Hi. Hi.
How's he doing? Is he ready for the shoot?
Looking well.
Oh, he's backing off, he's not keen. He's looking canny like, so yeah, what we'll do is we'll just get set up and then I'll go through a few things with you, bit safety and what have you, exactly what we're going to do, position wise, and then we'll crack on, you know, and I'm sure we'll get some great shots.
Good.
Alright,
Good.
let's have a look. Right, so yeah, we're all set up now, ready to photograph Lloyd. He's just getting a bit of munch on there just before we start. So this will be my typical setup. It's always indoors because a lot of you have already seen me photographs. You know I like to work with dark backgrounds, and so I like to keep the inside and the background as dark as I possibly can. And also obviously with lights don't work that well with rain. What I would typically do is I'll have two main lights to the sort of the left-hand side as I'm shooting, and I set those up. I have two because obviously horse is quite a large animal. These are only reasonably small lights, and I set two up just to give me a bigger sort of arc of light, because typically the horse won't stand perfectly still in one spot. So it gives me that bit of scope that if they're moving backwards and forwards a foot or two, I generally capture them within that arc of light. Other side, I'll have just a fill light. Again, it's just a small soft box, working on getting something a bit bigger for that in the future. And again, that just lifts the shadows from the other side and just creates a bit of depth for the horse. I normally place a little marker on the floor. And this is where I would explain to the handler where this is about where I would like the horse's head to be. Again, in this general area, it keeps the horse within this sort of range of light, and I know I'm going to get a good shot. And that's pretty much it for the lighting. I think what we'll do now is we'll just crack on with the shoot, and then we'll see how we go. Right, what we'll do then, Bob, I'll obviously just fire a few test shots off, obviously just to see what the light's like, when he comes in, and see if I need to make any adjustments. Obviously, what I would say is, Lloyd far better than what I do. If at any point you think he's getting a little bit stressed or, agitated or whatever, let us know, and we'll put the camera down, give him 5 minutes, you know what I mean. Obviously, I don't want you or anybody else getting hurt, especially don't want you stressed to Lloyd as well, so... I think what I'll do is if I flash these lights another couple of times with the beeps, just so he doesn't seem fazed by that really, does he? He's make sure I'm getting 3 strobes. Cool. Right, mate, let's go. So what I would say is if you want to walk him round that way, bring him in sort of on an angle towards this here. When his head gets around about there, right, what I want to do is try to get him to look back on himself. So if you've got the rope and you're walking in, you can just, with the rope, loosen the rope a bit and just sort of step back, right. You might have to duck a little bit out of the way of the light, but we'll just see what we get. So leading him over to there, yeah. Maybe just a little bit further, because by the time he turns his head, yeah, that's it, mate, brilliant, yeah. And then what I want to do is, I want him to get him to look back over that way. So if you want to come sort of round and underneath him, hopefully he'll keep his body in that position. And then looking round towards you. That's it, yeah. And then if he can turn his head towards you now, it'll be great. I'm just going to drop that down a bit. He's thinking what's going on here. So what I'm going to do, I already know this is just a little bit dark, so I'm going to just move this light just a bit closer to him. That's it. And I'm just going to move this one forward as well.
Is his head out there? Right?
Yeah, fine, yeah. It's just a matter of me just pushing the lights in. As long as he's not fazed by these lights, you know. As I say, it's just sometimes it's just trial and error, just getting these set up. Obviously, he's looking towards them to see what's okay. That's it. That's it. We'll just drop that aperture a little bit. With darker horses, I mean sometimes it's, you know, the settings change, but if you're photographing a dark horse or a light horse, with darker horses you tend to have to get the lights a little bit closer, a bit more power, adjust a few settings on the camera. For anybody who's camera savvy, I tend to drop the aperture a little bit, sort of around about f11 to f13, put the ISO up a bit. For whiter horses and lighter horses, it's kind of the opposite way. I'll maybe drop the ISO and put the aperture further up, just so it doesn't kill the highlights and what have you. So I think, yep, I'll try that on at f11. Okay. That's better. Yep. That's it.
It's difficult trying to keep it away.
Yeah. You see, what I do as well is I'll get a range of shots. And what I find is that I get like a few decent headshots, and I'll get a really nice couple of headshots where the ears are right back or they're sticking out like donkeys. And then I'll get a couple of nice headshots where the ears are forward, but they're pulling a funny face or the eyes are wide open. And I'll just drop into my Photoshop magic for that and take the ears off one picture and stick them on another. And get a bit further back. That's it, yeah.
Stand there. Stand there.
What do you think it'd be like, Bob, if we were to take his halter off and just put the lead rope around his neck? Do you think you would? And at least you've got something.
I mean, I think it'd be fine.
I mean, it's up to you. If you don't think that's, you know, Yeah.
Try to keep it down.
Lloyd. While he's in that position, Bob, do you want to just walk round that way and see if he'll turn his head towards you?
Stand up. Stand up.
So it's just a case, again, if you want to walk him round, it's just trying to get him on just a little bit more of an angle.
Same, come in the same.
Yeah, so we've got like a more... Yeah, just so he's on more of an angle. And then again, if we can get his head to turn. So yeah, that's perfect, yeah. No, well, maybe just a little bit further back if you can. That might be really nice there, if I can just get him to... Yeah. That's it. That's it. And then it's just a matter of just trying to get a couple angles on his head, getting his head to turn that way.
That way?
Yeah.
Stand up.
That's it, yeah. Come on, log on, that's it.
Lloyd. Lloyd.
Come on, get that head round. So again, I mean, I don't know if you can just sort of like, maybe he's getting to face that way now, it's just getting him on the angle, you know, rather than trying to get him. I mean, obviously what he's wanting to do every time when you walk underneath him, he's just wanting to follow you. So even if you want to walk in and even just like sideways on, then you know, he'll probably readjust his body. Yeah, and a couple of steps forward. And then, brilliant. So that position's really nice there. And it's just a case of getting him to turn his head now towards that way, yeah. If he'll just turn it a bit more, that's it. Keep going, there you go. See, normally as well, it's ideal if you've got somebody else with you who can act as a distractor to, if he'll get his head turned just even further, that would be lovely. The sheen on his fur there is beautiful.
Start.
That's it, there you go. So again, for, you know, when you're standing and the horses are standing nice and still, it's a case of trying to take every opportunity, keeping the camera up to your face, because you never know what you're going to miss. So you see what I've got there is I've got a nice ear position, lovely ear position, forward and alert. And it's just a case of getting, see if we can get a slightly better head position. It's just a case of keep going till he's had enough. He's definitely interested in something. I might have just got the one there. Yeah, that's gorgeous, that. Right, yeah, I think we've definitely got at least 4 or 5 images there we can successfully work with. So,
Okay.
yeah, brilliant. Well done, Lloyd. Well done, Bob. No?
Well, yeah, so.
Fantastic. Do I get a polo? I like you. Brilliant.
He's been good.
So yeah, so there we go, and that was it. That's pretty much the essence of a shoot. Sometimes they don't go as well as that. You get the odd difficult one, but you take the rough with the smooth. So now we'll finish here. We'll get packed up and we'll move on to an editing video, and I'll show you how I edit a shot up into the finished article. Cool.
Okay.
Well done.